SMD Law is the official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Check them out on the interwebs at smdalaw.com or at 866-529-3537. No matter where you are in the state of Michigan, Upper Peninsula, Lower Peninsula, it doesn't matter. They have an office near you. So whether you need to send a letter to an annoying neighbor, or you're a criminal and you need defense, maybe you just have problems with elder law, check them out, smdalaw.com today. The official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Call them first, then you act.
That's our motivation in the offseason. That's what we focus on. So we know we're a better team than 7-6 with the players we have, and we just didn't execute last year. So we just got to execute this year.
Going into your last season here, how much pressure is there on you to kind of leave a legacy and end your legacy on a high note?
Yeah, I mean, I think how people remember you is how your senior season was. That's how they remember your class and say 2019, that was a good year. They're going to remember the senior class of that year. And that's kind of our focus is, as a senior class, and I think as a whole team, is just to make this the best year we can.
Why is everybody that so secretive about the changes offensively?
Because it's a secret. I don't know. You've seen, we showed what we could show during the spring game, and I guess I'll just wait till August 30th, I think is when it is, for the next showing. So.
Now, is that because you are still working on a lot of new installs? Is it because you just don't want anyone to know what you're working on? Or
I would say more just Coach Salem doesn't want people to know, I guess. Yeah.
With that said, are you guys expecting to surprise some people this year?
I would hope so, yeah. I mean, I think even last year our offense was better than what we showed. We didn't perform up to the standard of a typical Michigan State offense, and not by any means to a regular college offense. So we definitely have a lot of ground to make up on the offensive side of the ball.
What is it like working for Coach Salem?
It's awesome. Being under him him being my quarterback coach for 4 years. I learned a lot about him and hung out with him a ton, and I truly enjoy him as a coach. Yeah.
What's something that you wanted to work on in the off season about like some part of your game?
I think every year there's something you can improve on, and I think mine, I focus too much on staying in the pocket and not creating with my legs, and I think that kind of hurt a part of my game that was useful, and using my legs is a big part of my game, and I kind of want to get back to it a little bit.
Took some trips and whatnot in the off season. What football related? Can you talk a little bit about the trip out west to San Diego?
Yeah.
Can you take us through that a little bit?
Yeah. So it was a quarterback camp that Coach D had told us like 4 days before. Me and Rocky, he was like, "Hey, you guys are going to this thing next week, so get ready, get packed." So we ended up flying out there. It was supposed to be more of like a quarterback-oriented camp with a little bit of military work, but the NCAA kind of came down and said we couldn't throw the ball around at all, so that kind of sucked. And we weren't able to throw with the Marines, even just throwing routes to them, so that also kind of sucked. But it was a fun camp just to be able to. We ended up going on an aircraft carrier. We ended up hanging out, doing a workout with the SEALs, and doing a workout with the Marines. So. We after each workout, we got to kind of sit down and talk with them. We could ask them questions. It was some very high-ranking people on both sides, and they had an answer to anything you could ask about leadership, about anything. So it's a great experience for us.
Is that what you learned about leadership from it, the leadership qualities?
Yeah, I think after we weren't able to throw the ball around too much, I think that became the main focus of learn as much as you can about leadership and trying to take some of the stuff they have. Take some of the stuff they had and take it back to our team.
What's the number one thing you took away from that as far as that goes?
I think it's kind of something I've tried to do also, is just invest into people and take time to get to know them and, compliment people and build them up and boost them up a little bit.
The defense was in here talking about trust a lot once with that unit. And then I asked them, do they trust the offense to go out this year and prove that last year was the one-off? How much do you and your offensive teammates want to come out and prove that last year was what it was?
More than you guys know. I don't think anyone is proud of the performance we had, and we definitely want to be able to show that we're much better than what we showed last year.
Coach talked about running the ball a little more with you. Are you prepared to do that?
Coach Salem did?
Yeah. Coach D'Antoni, I'm sorry.
Coach
D'Antonio.
Okay. I think that's, like I said, that's a part of my game that I need to use more. I think I'm decently fast, around about low 4.6s, so I'd say I'm faster than most quarterbacks, hopefully. So I can hopefully use that a little bit more to my advantage.
You have a core receiving group coming back, 3 guys in particular. What has your chemistry been like with them in the offseason? What can we expect from you guys in 2019?
We're going to be great. I think we have a great receiving core, even beyond the starting 3 that we have. There's guys that can come up and fill the spots for them. And we got a ton of work in the offseason. Obviously, I was trying to get my arm back into shape, and so I would kind of drag them out a little bit and make them throw in the summertime and kind of get our timing down a little bit.
What was harder, your quarterback workouts or a Navy SEAL workout?
Down at the camp, definitely the Navy SEAL workout. We did like a 20-minute. It's their O course. If you go Google the SEAL O course, I think we were the first college quarterbacks to ever do it. So, or college athletes in general. So it was definitely difficult. It probably took about I think it was about 25 minutes to do, with virtually no break in between. So it was tough, and then we had a couple other things we had to do, but it was tough.
Did you get away from using your legs because of the injuries?
No, that was the focus before the season even started. Just to try and stay in the pocket and go through my reads a little better. And I think this year I can do both at the same time. And if the pocket breaks down, I can go create. But while I'm in the pocket, I'm going to try and go through my reads and make the right throw.
Is that something you fought a little bit when the struggles started to come?
What do you mean?
Like, did you fight to want to use your legs a little more? Were you trying to coax the staff?
Honestly, no. I wasn't really focused on that. I was going to use them whenever I could, basically.
Right, a lot of coaching changes. How comfortable are you guys on the offense with the coaching changes and shuffling?
I think it's great. It kind of brings a little bit of freshness to each room, and each guy gets to kind of learn how their coach coaches. Each coach has a different coaching style. And I think it's been refreshing for us, for sure.
Is it relieving knowing you have a really good defense that can get you really good field position, or is it more stress knowing that you have higher expectations when you go out?
No, definitely. There's zero stress at all. We love how the defense can stop people. We love that they can give us great field position, and we know that they're not going to allow teams to score a lot of points every week. So we definitely feel confident in that.
Brian, how important, you guys have a lot of communication on the field with your players, but having being on the same wavelength with not only Coach D, but the offensive coordinator, I mean, what do you guys go into as far as each play, as far as open communication and play-by-play, getting it done on the field?
Yeah, me and Coach Salem would have conversations even last year when I was even an understudy to all the other Connor Cook and all those guys. Just about plays that we could throw in that would work really well to certain situations against certain defenses. And now that he's OC, I think that'll translate very well. And he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. So I think that's going to work very well for us.
Brian, what would you tell yourself as a freshman coming in now that you've been here and you've been through some of the wars and the battles on the field, off the field? What would you tell yourself?
It's going to feel shorter than what you think, probably, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Just be resilient, push through the tough times, and hope that better times are ahead and focus on those better times.
What would it mean to you to leave a winning legacy here at Michigan State?
It meant a ton. I think, like I said, a senior class is remembered about how their senior season goes, and we want 2019 to be a special year for us.
Coach D'Antonio said quarterbacks will get this position because you get a lot of praise, you get a lot of criticism, but your teammates say you handle it great. How tough is it with your responsibilities both on and off the field?
Yeah, that's something that when you become a quarterback, it's like the first thing they tell you is you're going to take way more credit than you deserve, and you're going to take a lot more blame than you deserve. So that's just kind of something that comes with the territory, and I hope I'm doing a decent job of trying to live up to that standard of a regular quarterback as well.
Do you love that role of leadership?
I do, yeah. I mean, I kind of like being able to talk to guys and be their kind of guy to look up to and tell them what to do. So it's good.
I mean, you mentioned getting too much credit, or getting not enough credit. 17, you were placed plenty. Obviously, it was a little different for you this year. But it kind of toll does that take on you, knowing that's kind of what you're going through.
After what?
After getting so much praise in 2017, then maybe not so much in 2018.
Yeah, it was kind of my first time. I've told guys it was kind of my first time getting a lot of criticism from a season I've had. Going up in high school, when I was younger, and even the first, obviously 17, I had received basically nothing but praise. And so last year's kind of my first time receiving criticism, and it was a new thing to go through. But I stuck through it and prayed and talked to my parents and talked to my coaches and all that, and they helped me through it.
How does that make you better for this year?
I mean, it helps a ton. I do my best to try and block all that stuff out now. Even the praise, I try to not look at anything anymore and just focus on my game and focus on what I can do to get better.
Coach Brad is the offensive coordinator now. Dave is the nice coach. How do you make this offense better?
I think Coach Salem's a fresh mind, and I think Coach Warner's a great offensive coordinator as well. But just some changes happened, and I think that both guys are great coaches, and it's awesome to have Coach Warner as a quarterback coach now. He's a very smart guy. He's a little bit more, I think, quarterback mechanical specific than what Coach Salem was. So I think he brings that to us on the table for all of us as quarterbacks.
Had an interesting conversation with Coach Warner, mentioning that this year, everything that he went through last year, maybe some of the scrutiny that he had, and then everything that you went through. And he said that it was kind of not unique, but kind of lined up that it would be good that you guys were together this year.
I think so.
Is that, just kind of, if you could go off of that and how you have maybe both helped each other, if you've learned through so much and now you're together.
Yeah, we haven't really said that face to face, but
yeah.
I can definitely see it's kind of crossing my mind as we were kind of both the guys receiving the criticism last year, and I think being able to be coached from him, he knows what I'm going through, I know what he was kind of going through, and it just helps us become better as a coach and as a player on both parts.
Yeah, so you said you never have said it face to face, but it's just interesting.
It's
it was just interesting that
yeah.
you said that because it makes sense in a way. But I mean, how do you think that relationship then that the two of you have and what you're building can transpire into something this year?
Yeah, it's kind of something that's gone unsaid, but I think that, like I said, that's just going to help us. He knows kind of how I need to get coached, and I know his coaching style and what he does, and I think it works very well for both of us.
Thank you.
No problem.
Brian, you mentioned earlier that staying in the pocket was sometimes too much of a focus a year ago, and I think if I remember, you talked maybe around the bowl game about you were thinking about the next level at times. And did you mention? Forgive me if you didn't. But
no, I don't.
Oh, let me ask you though. So
sometimes I say stuff wrong.
So was that part of what you were going through? You were thinking maybe a half a step ahead. And you needed to.
I think it was some stuff that I know that NFL guys like to see. It's just a guy that stays in the pocket, and goes through his reads, and tries to protect his body. And I think that might have been what I said.
You did.
So I think I made focus on that, and I took away my creative factor away from my game. And so I think I'm going to try and combine the best of both worlds this year and be creative when I can and stay in the pocket when I can. And when I need to do both, I'm going to do it.
With the idea that success here will then translate no matter what kind of quarterback you are in some way, right? Because in the NFL these days, there are all sorts of quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly. There's guys, I think the creative guy is becoming more of the style in the NFL now. Patrick Mahomes, and I think Kyler Murray this year is going to be a great quarterback. So just guys like that.
Baker Mayfield,
exactly. Yeah, guys like that are just becoming kind of the new wave. So,
thanks.
No problem.
Still talking over here? You posing?
Oh no, I can do both.
You said something to me to everybody the other day about the idea that last year was you took some things for granted. I thought it was an interesting way of phrasing it. It wasn't like you needed to be humbled or anything, but you took things for granted. You described what it felt like losing that and what it felt like kind of coming back a year later.
Yeah, just things like going out in the field and being able to just kind of play and get a win when you're get a win when you're supposed to beat the other team, and then sometimes get a win when you're not supposed to. You kind of take those things for granted. And after I got hurt, you take things like being able to throw the healthy arm for granted, and just being around your teammates and being able to enjoy a win with them. You kind of take all those things for granted. So going into this year, especially with it being my senior year, I'm gonna make sure I'm enjoying every moment and trying to live in the moment and be a part of this team in a good way.
Is that it's a healthy lesson for anybody to learn, right? And throughout life in any form. Is do you see value? I mean, I'm guessing you didn't want last year to happen. Like if you could redo last year, you'd throw for 4,000 yards and you'd been a first round pick. But do you see value in the way it unfolded?
After looking back at it 100%, I think being able to go through and being able to handle criticism is something that I would consider one of my strengths now. And I would not have said that last year at all. So being able to, when people are kind of throwing hate at you or even when they're praising you, I think I can handle both of those in a good way now. And I think that's something that'll help me for the next level as well, hopefully.
When you look back to, to be injured and not be able to do something as an athlete, obviously you had the leg injury, so you've had it, but it's a little different, right? It's not the mechanism that creates who you are, larger.
Yeah.
What was that like to have that sort of taken away?
Yeah, it's kind of put a little bit different perspective on, hey, what would I be doing without football? And are my grades good enough to get a good job, or is my degree good enough to get a good job and stuff like that? Not that it was like I was thinking about quitting football or anything, but it's just kind of the stuff you think about when you're hurt and when you can't throw very well. I think all those things outside of football give it perspective a lot bigger than what they had in the past.
Your goals for this year, and I know going into last year, you're hoping for a big year. You want to be an NFL quarterback. There's no question about that. And so I'm wondering what you learned that you need to be able to do to play at that level.
Handle criticism, obviously. I think it's a big one. Even
media is really nice. Fans are really nice.
If you didn't know, the fans love every player of every team. But I think that definitely, and then being positive throughout everything and being enthusiastic. I think I didn't do a fantastic job of still being, there for my teammates and being kind of happy to be in this. Obviously, I wasn't happy in the situation I was, but when you're in the leadership position that I was, especially as a captain, you kind of have to sometimes fake it a little bit and show off that, enthusiasm. And I may have not done that as well as I could last year. So I think that all those things, I think will help me for the next level for sure.
I wanted to ask you about the two veteran wideouts, and Daryl and Cody a little bit. And they took a lot of grief about separation and their own speed and their own. And I was talking with them about it a little bit, and they, were they fast enough? Did they get enough separation?
Oh,
yeah. You must have heard that a little bit. In terms of what do you think that's fair? The questions about separation for them, and what do you see from them now?
I don't know. Every player I think every player in the offense could have been better last year. There's no one that was really like the guy that was just like fantastic and did everything really well. So I think with that being said, I think they're obviously fantastic players, and they're going to show it this year for sure. And just seeing them in spring ball and in fall camp, I think they'll be able to create a ton of separation. I think Cody's ability to go up and get a ball is much better. He seems a lot more physical this year than what he was last year. He'll be definitely that guy that you can just throw it up, kind of like Felton was, and just go get the ball. And Cody and Speedy, obviously, as well. Those guys know what they're doing. They know how to run routes. They know how to get open, and obviously very good at catching the ball.
So as a quarterback, would you rather have the young guys, they move guys into positions who still's got his head on a swivel a little bit, but's got 4.4 speed, or a guy who runs a 4.6 who knows where to be and knows where to go get it?
That's tough. I think. I'd be happy with either, obviously, but each one has their upsides. But I'm not sure. Obviously, guys. I think guys that know what they're doing, those are guys that are going to play. If they know the playbook, they know how to run the routes. Those are going to be the guys that are on the field. So.
How sick are you of answering questions about your shoulder?
About
your shoulder.
I'm pretty sick of it, honestly.
Have you run into weird things where you like getting food or parking your car or something, and somebody comes up and asks, "Hey, how's your shoulder going?"
Every time I see someone in public that recognizes me, they'll be saying, "How's your shoulder doing?" I'm like, "It's good." Even my friends, they'll say they'll go somewhere. I think it was Joe or even anyone else would just be like, hey, how's Brian's shoulder doing? Or something. I'm just like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all right.
How much are you looking forward to the opener? I mean, you know, obviously you don't have a good performance, and then everybody just maybe stops asking you about your shoulder.
Yeah, that's the plan. Is to come out there hot and come out there and score a lot of points that first game and hopefully get a win.
There's around here. There's been a lot of years where even with really good offenses, haven't shown a lot in that opening game. Haven't, it's a game you're trying to win. Maybe you got a big game a week later. I'm wondering how much, in a sense, there's a collective sense among the offense that you want to show people that you want to come out and have a game right off the bat.
Well, yeah, like you said, most teams, their first game probably isn't their best game of the year. So I mean, we're trying to be over prepared for that game and over prepared, over ready to be able to show what we can do and try to show in that first game. I think it's big for us.
Everything you thought and hoped last year going into the season, do you feel and hope that now for the offense?
What do you mean?
I mean, I just remember conversations last year about really thinking it could be a prolific group.
I mean, 100%. And I think there's guys that will step up that maybe you guys haven't heard of yet that'll make a lot of plays for us. So I think all of our goals are definitely still in front of us.
The offensive line last year, pretty early on, though, it became an issue that you were going to be able to run the ball. How early did you know that? How important is it that changes this year to let you guys get where you want to go?
Yeah, I think the run game is huge, and even that, I wouldn't put everything in the O-line. It goes into a lot of stuff too. Sometimes the running backs were able to find the hole, or the O-line maybe wasn't able to make a hole. But I think it kind of encompasses everyone being able to be on the same page and making the right cut, or making the right read, or making the right block. I think it's so far this fall camp, it's been looking pretty good.
So you didn't have any temptation to go with the Mohawk?
Not really.
Did they try and convince you to?
No one really did. I mean, I just shaved my head like 2 months ago, so I kind of want to let the hair grow a little bit.
Who has the best Mohawk?
You haven't seen him yet, but Bryce Wilker probably.
That's not the first one I've heard.
Very good.
Going into last year, now people were talking about you as possible in the entry in the draft, and took that as a compliment. Now, I mean, things are different. Obviously, coming off the injury. I mean, how much do you look at this as being your last chance? Last year as a college quarterback, and with what you want to achieve, obviously professionally. Yeah,
it's big. There's some goals that I feel like I haven't achieved yet, and that I still want to. So all those are still in front of me, and I know there's only one more chance to do it. And so obviously, I hope to make the best out of the season.
So just like we talked about before last year, completion percentage, I assume you want to get in the mid-60s, things like that.
Yeah, like those specifics.
Yeah, that's what I think you had 59 in 17, and you wanted to.
I still want to get that up. Yeah, like 65% completion, 3,000 passing, hopefully over 700 rushing, that'd be good. Maybe 1,000.
Oh,
let's see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm trying to use the weight. I don't know, but
Speaking of the rushing thing, you touched on that a little last week. How much that was part of your game in 17 and wasn't so much last year, obviously for various reasons. But it was something you really get a lot of enjoyment out of doing.
Out of running?
Yeah, I mean, like you go back to 17. Was it the Western game or whoever you were playing? You break up.
I mean, I don't like getting
that one too
necessarily,
but you break off big runs. And
I wouldn't say I try and lower my shoulder on everyone I go against, but I think I'm going to try and get yards anywhere I can to help us get to the end zone. And if I need to use my legs, I'm going to. I'm going to try and be safe while doing it, but I'm going to try and use my legs. Yeah.
How early on in your time here does somebody tell you to use the phrase "all our goals are still in front of us"?
How early on?
Yeah.
Ever since I was a freshman.
5:18 p.m. on August 5th. Wow, this offense is going to score X number of points per game. What's the target? How many points per game?
I'm not going to I don't think I'm going to put a specific number on it, but I guess I am. But
put the low number. Put the low number.
The coaches. I mean, our goal sheet that we have is 30 a game. 30 in a win is what our goal is every time. So I guess that's where we're going to put it at.
Has that been static pretty much throughout your time here? Or is
that that's been what we have our goal sheet that we'll go through after every game and see how many we completed. It'll be I think on it it's 30 points per game to win, 150 yards rushing, 250 passing, stuff like that. So.
You ever thought about just wearing your arm in a sling till the game when you're out in public, just to really stir up things?
really scare people?
Yeah.
It'd be funny. Haven't really thought about it, but
clearly Graham is.
Yeah.
Are you, just in terms of level of enjoyment, like, I mean, you've gone through all sorts of phases in your career, right? You're the fresh face guy who gets an opportunity as a redshirt freshman. You know, you have a breakout year as a sophomore, you get some criticism, you get injured. Now you're going to senior year. Like, your level of enjoyment and just sort of this phase, this sector of your career, what is it?
Never really thought about it, but I guess I've been through just about everything. Now I feel like an old guy. There's guys coming in that are younger than my younger brother, and I feel like he's young. So then those guys are my teammates now. But I mean, I definitely feel like the older guy, the guy that can kind of lead people and feel comfortable talking to guys that are younger than me or older than me or whatever. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
How helpful is it for you that you have great relationships and long-standing relationships with Coach Salem and Coach Warner, the coordinator and now the quarterback coach?
I think it's great. Being with Coach Salem for 4 years, learning about him and everything he does. Obviously they both have their different styles of coaching, and I think Coach Warner is very good for the room we have right now. Just his demanding leadership, not in like a mean way, but he'll kind of get in your case a little bit if you're doing something wrong. I think that'll be good for us for sure.
I saw a lot of positive vibes during spring ball with him him right up there with you guys.
Yeah. And I think
he likes coaching quarterback.
I think
that's what he is.
I think he does. I know. That's his true position. That's what he played in quarterback or in college.
Yeah.
So I think he enjoys it and he's embracing it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Have a great year, man.
Thank you.
With Darius, guy coming in, never played running back before getting here. Not like he obviously was a run-heavy quarterback in high school, but what did you see from him in his progression from showing up at fall camp and all of a sudden, like he said earlier, throw him in a run block. Throw him in a run block and he has no idea what he's doing basically, or to pass block. I'm sorry, and then from there to now, what you've seen from him,
I think he's become more of a true running back, and he'll still try and go out and prove he can throw as well as us, and we'll have to show him up a little bit. He tried hopping in our quarterback picture we had earlier, but he's definitely improved and grown, and I think into more of a true running back. And maybe last year we get to the point that the guys, you have to tell him who's blocking. He'll be telling the whole line who he thinks is going to come, and he's going to block those guys, stuff like that. He's gotten so much smarter in his overall ability to be a running back. Obviously, he's physical too, so it helps a ton.
All right. What do you view as the role of the tight end in sort of this newer offense, updated, whatever you want to call it? But what do you guys hope to use? How do you hope to use the tight ends?
Yeah, Dotson. Obviously, I think is going to be the main guy. He's an athletic guy. He's fast. He can catch the ball, and I'm just excited to see what he's going to do this year. And I'm not exactly sure how to answer that question, but I think just the guys we have are athletic and just guys that can run routes and block, so they're good for both.
I was just talking to Rocky a little bit ago. He talked about, of course we want to get better, improve ourselves and things like that, speaking as an offense as a whole, but he also sort of just threw out there on his own, like, we also want to do it for this defense. How much is that something you guys talk about on that side of the ball, just sort of acknowledging what those guys have done or are able to do, what you expect them to do, whatever?
A ton. I mean, it was definitely something we harped on in the middle of last season too. Like, hey guys, they're giving us a chance to win every game, even if we shouldn't even be in the game because we're not putting up points. So we need to kind of pick up our side of the ball and do our part, basically. And that's obviously been a focus for us. And we kind of take pride in going against the number one defense in the nation every week and every day in practice. And we realize that they're a good team, and it's going to take a lot, or good defense. It's going to take a lot to be able to kind of beat them in practice, and we kind of take pride in that.
So what'd you get done in practice today? What'd you guys work on? What'd you do? What'd you see?
Obviously, Coach D works 2 minute basically every practice, or all the important months. We had that in. I'm not really sure how to answer that. Not without getting too specific.
Right. Any players make plays that are stepping up from the second string that caught your eye?
Yeah, receiver wise, I think Maurice Nelson's really stepping up. He's a guy that can get open a lot. Jaden Reed. I don't think he's allowed to play this year, can he?
semi-official, he said today, but D'Antonio's still working on it.
Okay. It'd be great if he could. I think he's one of the top receivers we have on the team. He's very good. He knows what he's doing, and he's fast. He can catch the ball. He's picking up offense very quickly too, so I think that's good. Nick Samak on the O-line, he hopped in with the ones because the ones and freshmen will take reps together and rotate in and out and all that. And he hopped in for one rep, and he looked very good. And I think he's a big physical guy on the O-line that can be good for us. Maybe this year we'll see, and then obviously in the years coming. Yeah, Julian, obviously, I think he could play pretty much any skill position on the field, and right now he's at receiver. I think he's a big athletic guy. He'll go up and get the ball too, but he can also outrun guys. So I think it's kind of the best of both worlds. Who's the other one you said? Trey Mosley, yeah, okay. He's obviously, he's had a little bit of time being here for a while. He knows the offense, and he can kind of teach it to the younger guys that are in his class, the younger receivers in his class. But he's been looking good for us too.
What about Peyton Thorne? I know you guys are probably a lot of times you're both doing reps at the same time. Whenever you can observe him, what have you seen?
Yeah, no, because like I said, the ones and the freshmen are kind of not taking reps at the same time, but we're on the same field, so I'll be able to see him throw basically all his throws during practice, and he's it kind of reminds me of myself a little bit in his way that he can like create, and he has that reverse spin move out of the pocket that I always do that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. But his arm looks very live, and he's making very accurate throws to guys that in tight windows. So I think he's been looking very good for us.
I think it was Coach Warren was just telling me his understanding is super advanced. Obviously, being a coach's kid and everything. You've obviously been around here and seen younger quarterbacks come in, how fast they pick it up. Can you compare him? I mean, how far advanced, I guess, could you sort of qualify that? How quickly he was able to pick things up schematically?
I would say pretty quickly. Being a guy that, normally quarterbacks would come in early, and him not doing that, I think it's obviously smart. He should have enjoyed high school, and I'm glad he did that. But I think he picked up the offense very quickly, and he's been able to lead the freshmen and make sure they're on the right page, and he's the one kind of directing everyone around and making sure they're in the right spot. So I think he's definitely picked it up quickly.
Fair to say faster than normal, I guess.
I would say yes. I would say faster than normal, especially with his background. It helps.
Thanks, Brian. Cool. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys.